Some of the greatest stories ever written were failures when they first came out. Critics shrugged, readers ignored them, publishers gave up. But time proved these books immortal. Today, we begin exploring 50 science fiction, fantasy, and horror masterpieces that bombed first, but became legends later. Come find out the first 10 of the list. I'm Jim, and this is Fantasy for the Ages. My son Zach joins me when he can, and sometimes I have guests, but today it's another solo episode where you just get me diving into fantasy, science fiction, horror, and other nerdy things that we love to do on this channel. If that sounds like your kind of fun, go ahead and like the episode, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing about our future episodes. And of course, huge thanks to our Patreon supporters. Your support keeps this channel going. If you'd like to learn more about our Patreon, look for the link down in the show notes and find out what perks become yours with a little monthly support headed our way. So this is the first episode of a series where I'm covering 50 books that were flops, but went on to be fantastic successes for a wide variety of reasons. Again, fantasy, science fiction, and horror. No particular order here, just 5 episodes, 10 books each. They're all brilliant, and I'll be interested to see which ones you've read and agree about, as well as which ones you might have tried and went, maybe the flop is where it should have stayed. Let's dive into the list today, our first 10. Number 1 is Dune by Frank Herbert. Science fiction novel. It's the first book in the Dune saga. On desert planet Arrakis, noble Paul Atreides is betrayed and exiled, awakening into a destiny that merges politics, prophecy, and ecology. His rise births a messiah and a revolution that reshapes the galaxy. Believe it or not, this was rejected by over 20 publishers and finally released by Chilton, the car manual company. Yeah, it sold modestly at first, very modestly, but word of mouth eventually spread, and later adaptations made it the best-selling sci-fi novel ever written to date. Number 2 today is The Shadow over Innsmouth by H.P. Lovecraft, all the way back in 1936. This is a horror novel in the Cthulhu mythos and is a standalone. A man exploring a decaying New England town uncovers its monstrous hybrid inhabitants and his own dreadful connection to them. Ancient sea gods have made dark bargains with these townsfolk. Its small first print run barely sold, and most copies were destroyed. Make it go away. Yet it's now a cornerstone of cosmic horror and a major influence on a generation of writers. My third book today is The Worm Ouroboros by E.R. Edison from way back, 1922, a fantasy novel. It's a precursor of the Zimium trilogy. No idea if I said that right. Aristocratic heroes of Demonland wage endless war against Witchland in archaic mythic prose. The tale loops endlessly, an Ouroboros of glory, violence, and futility. A sales disappointment in 1922, but it was rediscovered by Tolkien readers in the 1960s and cemented its status as foundational epic fantasy. Number 4 today is Titus Groan by Mervyn Peake, the 1946 novel, book 1 of the Gothic fantasy Gormenghast series. I've featured this book before. It's a love it, hate it type of novel. Within the crumbling halls of Gormenghast Castle, tradition and madness rule as ambitious Steerpike schemes his way towards power. It's dark, it's eccentric, and hauntingly poetic. It was overshadowed by Tolkien's Rising Star. Nevertheless, Peake's masterpiece built a cult following over decades and eventually earned critical recognition worldwide. Our 5th selection today is Roadside Picnic by Arkady and Boris Strugatsky, 1972 originally, but the English translation came out in 1977. This is a standalone science fiction novel. Alien zones, littered with dangerous phenomena, lure desperate scavengers called stalkers, who risk everything to try to get their hands on alien tech and their own salvation. This was actually censored and delayed, therefore, in the USSR, but its fame exploded after Tarkovsky's Stalker film and Western translations coming out. It's become a cult science fiction icon. Number 6 is Ubik by Philip K. Dick, 1969, a standalone science fiction tale. Reality crumbles after a psychic war as time regresses, and a mysterious product called Ubik may be the key to survival or just delusion. This was a commercial flop that became Philip K. Dick's most acclaimed novel decades later, regularly appearing now on greatest sci fi novels of all time lists. Number 7, let's do some more Philip K. Dick. This time, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? A book almost everyone's heard of. It came out in 1968, another standalone sci fi novel. Bounty hunter Rick Deckard hunts rogue androids in a devastated Earth, questioning what separates man from machine. Initially, this was barely even noticed. It surged in fame only after Blade Runner, the 1982 movie adaptation of this story, which turned it into an enduring pop culture phenomenon. At number 8, I bring you At the Mountains of Madness, another H.P. Lovecraft tale, this one from 1936, more cosmic horror, and a standalone novel. Antarctic explorers uncover the ruins of an ancient alien civilization and the unspeakable things that ended it. This book was rejected in Lovecraft's lifetime. It's now Lovecraft's most famous story, influencing everything from The Thing to Alien. Number 9, The Nightland by William Hope Hodgson, 1912. Over 100 years ago. This is dying earth horror and fantasy, kind of a genre blend. The genres weren't so clearly defined back then. It's a standalone novel. In a far future, sunless Earth, humanity hides in a giant metal pyramid while a lone man ventures into a nightmare world to find his lost love. This was dismissed as unreadable all the way back in 1912. It later became a cornerstone for apocalyptic and cosmic horror. Final book today may be completely shocking to some of you, but this flop was The Color of Magic by Terry Pratchett, 1983, his first book in the Discworld series, a comedic fantasy collection of over 40 books. Cowardly wizard Rincewind and the world's first tourist stumble across absurd adventures on a flat world balanced on elephants atop a turtle. The tiny first printing sold very poorly. But once Discworld became a cultural juggernaut, this humble beginning was reevaluated as cosmic fantasy's Big Bang moment. And that's just the beginning, people. 10 legendary books that stumbled out of the gate but became cornerstones of fantasy, sci-fi, and horror. Which of these have you actually read? And which do you think deserved better from the start? Drop your thoughts in the comments and get ready for episode 2, where we'll continue the journey with The Star Is My Destination, House of Leaves, and more stories of redemption through time. Until next time, keep reading, keep imagining, and remembering failure might just be the first step toward greatness. We'll talk to you next time.